Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Down the Rabbit Hole. Today, we're going to be talking about another fun, eclectic place to go visit. This is in Cleveland, and this is called the Franklin Castle. And y'all know I had to talk about it, so here we are. Um, we are gearing up to go to our next 12 episodes, which is going to still be like a haunted folklore vibe for those. So if that's not something you're into, you can hold off a minute, come back when those 12 are up. I get that completely. But I will be focusing on my other podcast as well, so please bear with me. I have one coming to a very end, and that's going to bring me back down to 5. I know, I do a lot of podcasts, yet I'm still not any good at them. But if you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. As you notice, commenting is still off because I feel like we have not yet to learn our lesson on commenting. And that you do have that freedom, but some words are just hurtful. But anyway, with that being said, let's talk about the Franklin Castle, okay? So, the Franklin Castle is a high Victorian eclectic style stone house located on Franklin Boulevard across from the West 44th Street and is still known to many Clevelanders as Franklin Castle. And the home has been a witness to a history of Cleveland's West Side in 125 years of existence. Now, Tiedemann House was built in the period 1881 to 1883 by Hans Tiedemann, who was a German immigrant who became very prosperous as first a wholesale grocer and then later as a banker. And the house was designed by the famed Cleveland architect firm of Goodell and Richardson. And while he built the house in the late 19th century, Franklin Boulevard was one of the most upscale residential avenues in Cleveland, and perhaps until only to be famed Euclid Avenue's Millionaires Row. Now he built this grand house on Franklin Boulevard not only to provide a more upscale residence for his family, but to provide a temporary place for his friends. Now, family and others immigrating from Germany to stay when they first arrived in Cleveland, and the house was later replaced an earlier house on the property, which was raised during the construction of the new house. And his wife, Louise, and their two surviving children, August and Dora, moved into the new house in 1883. The two children grew to adulthood. Both children later married and provided Hans with and Louise with a total of 6 grandchildren, all boys. Woo, all boys. Now, Tiedemann sold Franklin Castle in 1896, just 1 year after his wife died. In the century that followed, the house saw many new owners, several new uses. 47 of those years, from 1921 to 1968, was known as the Eintracht Hall. Now, during these years, it was known of its German-American League for Culture, an ethnic cultural organization that, in its early years, was involved in political causes and many years functioned as a German singing club. Now, around the time the Germans sold the house in 1968, rumors began to circulate that around the west side of Cleveland, that the house was haunted by the 19th century ghost of Mrs. Tiedemann and her daughter Emma, who died before the house was even built. In the mid-19th century, the one owner of the house capitalized on these rumors and offered a tour of the haunted Franklin Castle to the public. In 1985, Michael DeVinco purchased the house and spent a large sum of money restoring it. DeVinco, whose stage name was Mickey Deans, was the last husband of the legendary singer. Can you guess it? Judy Garland. I love Judy Garland. She is one of my favorites. Was one of my favorites. But anyway, and he lived in the house over a decade. Shortly after he sold the house in 1999, the house was torched by an arsonist, causing substantial damage, and a new owner spent a large sum of money in repairs, but as a result of the two economic recessions in the first decade of the 21st century, was unable to complete the restoration of the house. In 2011, the house was purchased by a European couple who have made substantial progress in restoring it. I must go see this house now. Now, the house has been known by different names in 121 years. It was built in 1881 to 1883. Um, but yes. I do want to talk briefly about the German American League of Culture, and this was it from 1921 to 1968, and everything, and it was had associated with becoming a German singing club as well. Um, Now, an article from the December 20th, 1938 edition of the Plain Dealer reveals that members of the club, shortly after the Munich Pact, protested the aggression of Adolf Hitler against German citizens as well as Germany's light neighbors as well. But yes, but this is it for this episode. Join me next time as we talk about the House of the Seven Gables. I'm very excited for that one. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day.